Go.
Okay, we're going to do an instructional video how to shut down your solar pool heater. So solar pool heaters will differ, depends on the system and the layout and the plumbing, but the general rules are the same. You're trying to get all the water out of the system. You don't want it to freeze over the winter. So every system has plumbing that comes from the pump into the filter, and then from the filter it comes into a three-port valve. The three-port valve is controlled by the actuator, and the actuator will rotate into two positions. There's one side that goes up to the solar, and then there's the other side that comes back from the solar into the pool. So when the solar side is engaged, it's going up, and then it's coming back. When it's not engaged, it's blocking off the solar path and it's going straight back to the pool. So when you're closing this thing down, what you want to do first of all is you want to make sure that no water gets stuck in the valve. And the best way to do that is there's a toggle switch on the actuator, and you need to flip that and get it to rotate. And once it's in the middle between the two positions, you flip it to the middle position of the toggle switch, which is off, and that will keep it in that position no matter what. And then you can just unplug your controller. Some people have a Pentair Solar Touch, some people have a Hayward Goldline controller. There's, work in the same way. They work on a temperature differential, the temperature of the roof and the temperature of the pool. How they operate and what they tell you may be a little bit different, but they operate in the same way. So once you got this in the middle and your pump is off, you then have some unions. There's one on the side going up and there's one on the side coming down. You would separate those two and you let the water drain out as much as possible. And then once that's happened and it stopped dripping or stopped draining out, you would then blow it out with either a shop vac or a leaf blower, something that doesn't push too much pressure. A compressor is probably too much. You don't need to put that much pressure through it. But once you let all the water out, you should be good to go. Now, you can unplug the controller for the winter, turn it off, and then you can flip it back to whatever position it says it should be in. It's marked on the actuator. If you look underneath, next to it, it says on one, off, and on two. We flip it back in this case to on one, and then we can plug it back in the spring. In some cases, you may have unions at the side of the house if you have plumbing that travels from the house to your pool pump. And in that case, you're going to have to open those two and you're going to have to blow up to the roof, both sides usually. I recommend doing both sides. Especially I would do the return last, which is this side that comes back from the roof. I would do that last because that's going into the top of the panels and you want to push the water down through the panels. But blow out both sides until they stop dripping. And then if you have any plumbing underground, you're going to want to blow that out as well. So you may want to blow that out back towards the pump. It doesn't really matter which way, and as long as you get the majority of the water out, you'll be fine. And then in some cases at the side of the house, there may be also a drain valve that looks something like this that you would then open up and allow the water to drain out. But that's generally the idea behind it. That's all you need to do.